Transylvania, the land of legend and shadows. In the heart of Eastern Europe lies a land cloaked in mist and mystery, a land where the mountains breathe ancient secrets, and the forests whisper to anyone brave enough to listen. It is a place of moonlit castles, timeless villages, and stories that have lingered for centuries. This is Transylvania, a realm where history, legend, and shadow intertwine. For centuries, the very name Transylvania has stirred the imagination. To some, it conjures images of Gothic castles and vampire legends. To others, it's a place of wild beauty where the old world has somehow survived the passage of time. But beyond the myths and the cinematic portrayals, there is a real Transylvania, more mysterious, more haunting, and far more fascinating than fiction. The land beyond the forest. The word Transylvania comes from Latin terra ultra sylvam, the land before the forest, and that name fits perfectly. Imagine endless green mountains blanketed with ancient woodlands, deep valleys dotted with medieval villages, and fog rolling in like a living spirit at dawn. The Carpathian Mountains encircle the region like a crown, forming a natural fortress that has shaped the people and their stories for centuries. Traveling through Transylvania feels like stepping back in time. Horse-drawn carts still rattle along narrow country roads. Shepherds in traditional clothing guide flocks across golden fields, their calls echoing against the hills. And in the distance, the spires of fortified churches rise above the horizon, silent guardians of a bygone age. It's a land that has belonged to many: Deacons, Romans, Hungarians, Saxons, and Romanians, each leaving behind layers of culture, architecture, and myth. You can feel that blend in every cobblestone street, every tower, and every whispered legend that clings to the air. The castle shadows, Bran Castle. Among the countless castles of Transylvania, none are more famous or more misunderstood than the Bran Castle. Perched high on a rock cliff, its pointed towers and narrow corridors seem sculpted straight from a dream or perhaps a nightmare. Often called Dracula's castle, this fortress has become the beating heart of Transylvania's most enduring legend. But the truth is more complex. Bram Stoker, the Irish author of Dracula, never set foot in Transylvania. He drew his inspiration from maps, travelers' accounts, and imagination. Yet when people saw Bran Castle, its dramatic silhouette and eerie atmosphere, they knew at once this is where the vampire must have lived. The castle's real history is one of defense and power, not blood and fangs. Built in the 14th century to guard the strategic mountain pass between Transylvania and Wallachia, it stood as a sentinel against invading forces. Its walls have seen battles, sieges, and royal intrigue, and perhaps, if legends are true, more than a few restless spirits. Walk its narrow staircase today, and you'll feel the air colder in certain corners. Tour guides tell tales of flickering lights, footsteps in empty halls, and voices that echo where no one stands. Maybe it's just imagination, or maybe some stories never really die. The true Dracula, Vlad the Impaler. To find the man behind the myth, you must travel to the town of Sighișoara, a perfectly preserved medieval citadel where cobbled streets wind past pastel-colored houses, and clock towers chime softly over the rooftops. Here, in 1431, a child was born, Vlad III, later known as Vlad the Impaler. Vlad was no vampire, but he was something far more terrifying to his enemies. A fierce ruler, cunning strategist, and defender of his homeland. Vlad earned his gruesome title through the method of execution he made infamous, impalement. It was a warning to invaders and traders alike, a message that Transylvania's mountains were not easily conquered. His reign was marked by both horror and admiration. To some, he was a monster. To others, he was a hero who stood against the powerful Ottoman Empire. But it was centuries later, when Bram Stoker's Dracula appeared, that Vlad's name would be immortalized in the shadows of literature. Even now, as visitors walk through Sigishua's ancient gates, imagining the young prince who once ran through its streets. At dusk, as the lamps glow amber against the mist, it's easy to believe that his spirit still lingers, not as a vampire, but as a ghost of history itself. The spirit of the land. Transylvania isn't all darkness. There's a softer side to its mystery, one filled with quiet beauty and gentle superstition. Villages like Vescuri and Baratan and Sanchez seem frozen in time. Their fortified churches with thick walls and watchtowers once protected villagers from raids. Today, they protect the soul of the region, humble, spiritual, and enduring. Everywhere you go, folklore lives on. Locals still speak of forest spirits. Will owe the whispers that lead travelers astray, and the strigo, restless souls that wander between worlds. To them, these aren't just bedtime stories. They are part of life, a reminder that the visible world is only half of what exists. And perhaps that's the secret of Transylvania's magic. It's not about fear or darkness. It's about the mystery, the unknown, that still breathes in the forests and hides among the ruins. Here, myth and reality walk side by side, and the veil between them feels impossibly thin. If you ever find yourself in Romania, let the road lead you north, beyond the plains, beyond the cities, and into the mountains where shadows dance. Stand beneath the towers of the Bran Castle. Wander the winding streets of Sighișoara. Breathe the pine-scented air of the Carpathians at sunrise. And listen, you might just hear the echo of footsteps that never stopped walking. Because Transylvania isn't simply a place on the map. It's a feeling, ancient, haunting, and unforgettable. A land where legend lives forever, and the night still has stories to tell.